it in, sports family. Also, go to all social media platforms. Link will be in the description. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Thank you.
Hey, what's good? What's good, my people, man? Come in. I would need to talk to some of y'all today, man. I need to talk to some of y'all today. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Last night live was a great discussion, great topic, but I'm not gonna lie, man. Some of the ways that people be thinking is kind of disturbing. Not gonna lie to you. He said, perfect. I just finished my finished last night episode. Hey, I bet. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. I think some of y'all allow fanatic to, deceive y'all, right? And the reason I say that, and I told him I was gonna let him know. But here's the thing: I closed one door, and I felt like another door just opened. Now, and the reason why I'm saying that is because last season I was getting on the parents so much. Parents, let the coaches coach. Don't be in the coach's face. The time to talk to the coaches is when you off of the field, right? I said all of this. I said all of this all last year. And then when Fanatic had posed a question saying that parents are 75% responsible for the kids' growth and for them getting scholarships, right? And I said, and I'm thinking to myself, I said, wow, that's crazy, right? I'm saying that this is crazy, right? And here is the thing. Here's why I'm so shocked. Because first of all, coaches, it shows with that statistic that coaches want to do as little as possible. Right. And this is why I say, and I get on coaches for always trying to get the best players. You're not developing those players. Those players are already good. We already know that. Right. We understand that. But the route that a lot of them are trying to go is during the lazy route. All I want to do is teach you my scheme and that's it. That's the bare minimum. And so they were saying that, 75% is the woman's or the man's responsibility, the parent's responsibility to get that kid notice, get that kid develop and all this stuff, right? And so I said, okay, so since y'all want to play that game, right? I got something for y'all. So all that stuff that I said about the parents last season, it's out the window. Because if y'all gonna put the responsibility on the parents to make sure that they kid get the exposure through them, make sure they kid get developed through them, they got every single right to be on that damn sideline, making sure that what's supposed to happen or what they deem that's supposed to happen for their kid happens. So when they over there, don't get to talking about no disruptions. Don't get to talking about none of that. Since it's their responsibility for them to grow and develop their kid and to make sure that they're responsible for getting their kid scholarship is their responsibility. That means that they can be on that sideline. If they see that you're not doing something that they kids should be doing, they have every single right to go and disrupt you and tell you as a coach, you not doing something right. Because they don't see the production in their kid. Because it's something you're not doing right. So since y'all want to put the responsibility on the parents as coaches, every parent has the right to make sure that their coach, that their kid is being coached the way that they deem fit. And if they not seeing that reward or the fruits of that labor, then that means that they get to tell you that you're not doing whatever it is that they deem that you're not doing as the right way. Because now you just sat there and told them, listen, it's your responsibility to make sure your kid get developed. It's your responsibility to make sure your kid get a scholarship. Well, since it's my damn responsibility, guess what? It's going to be my responsibility to make sure that I correct my kid on the field, tell you when you're not doing something right, right? Because it's me that have to get them. They say, hold on, one second. It says, nah, Ken, that ain't how that work. If you don't like how the coach handle things, nah, no. These coaches voted. They voted. A lot of them folks, they said that it's the parent responsibility. Dion, I said that the parents should be off the field. The time to talk to their kid is when the game is over on the way home. I said that. Then I said it's the coach's responsibility to make sure that the kids get the exposure. It's the coach's responsibility to make sure that the kids is maximizing opportunities far as, putting the kids in position for NILs, tagging the kids and all this other stuff. They're saying that all of that and the coaches getting the kid opportunity to be looked at, all of that is the parents doing now. So now I gotta ask, what role is the coaches? Because I'm confused. What is the role of the coaches now? You know what I'm saying? That development comes outside of practice. Development comes outside of practice, right? So basically, what you're saying is that only thing that we're responsible for is making sure that you know the plays and the X's and O's. So you mean to tell me that it sits right with you that a kid that can't do something that a coach is not teaching them and they don't see the bench, that sits right with people? It says Coach R to develop football skills, IQ, or whatever. All right, hold on, Coach. Hold on, I got you. Because because I'm going to be honest with you. Hold on, Coach Pat. I'm going to be honest with you, though. We can't have it both ways, bruh. That's all I'm going to say. Folks, they want to have it both ways. It got to be some sort of teamwork. One second. Hey, but so far, y'all let me know what y'all think while I'm making sure Coach Pat get on. All right. Folks be telling me that I'll be tripping. I say, man, listen, you telling me I'm tripping, and you said that it's no longer a high school coach to get a kid recognized, and it's up to the parents. Y'all taking all the responsibility off. Hold on, bro. All right, coach. I just sent it to you. But nah, man, y'all taking all the responsibility off, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that to me, that's not cool. Because the whole thing is this. The whole thing is this. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, parents, don't get upset with me that your kid ain't performing the way that that he should or whatever, right? And if a parent see that a kid ain't doing something right, and then the coaches is now relieving themselves of obligation of correcting kids and developing kids, and then when a parent come on the field raising hell about why they kid ain't doing something. Oh, okay, hold on. My bad.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
what
I
the
know,
hell you
no.
want?
Don't come in here lying to these people, bruh.
Hey, listen.
Bruh, I gotta say my piece and I'm gonna let you rock. I gotta say my piece and I'm gonna let you rock. Bruh, whose responsibility? Because I'm gonna see if you keep it real. If your child doesn't know how to understand, if your child don't understand math, are you gonna blame the teacher?
I'm
Yo,
not gonna blame the teachers.
If
yo,
your child can't read, are you gonna blame the teacher?
No, I'm not gonna blame the teachers.
Who are you
yo.
going to put that responsibility? Oh, we hear you, Pat. I just
Okay,
want him to
okay,
answer
okay,
this and I'm going to
okay,
let y'all rock.
okay.
Once
Stay
your
on
child,
there.
whose responsibility, once your child can't read and do the fundamentals of something, who you going to put that responsibility on, Ken?
No,
I'm gonna put that responsibility on me.
Okay, so when we start talking national ball, I'm not going to put my child on Coach Pat team if he can't catch and he want to play wide receiver. I'm not gonna do that because I know Pat got the top wide receivers. Now I'll put my
Man,
kid on Pat team if he
Coach
don't
Pat, go
understand
ahead.
spacing.
Go
If he
ahead,
don't
Coach Pat.
understand spacing, Coach
He
Pat teach my kid
no,
spacing.
no.
If he don't understand proper route running on how Pat want him to run his skinny post, hey Pat, teach my kid how to run a skinny post. But if
On
Pat
your
go out
on
there and say,
your
if my child say he don't know how to catch a ball, he want to play receiver, why would I put him on Coach Pat team? That's not Coach Pat responsibility. It's
listen,
my responsibility to teach him how to catch. It's Pat responsibility to teach him the intricacies of football, not the fundamentals.
hey,
it's
Come
definitely is
on, bro.
it's definitely is for priority to also teach the fundamentals.
This
Now I
man
know
right here, bro.
he may not have the adequate amount of time that the parents will have, but you definitely got to teach. You know what I've seen coaches do when a player didn't know something and the player asked the coach what he was supposed to do, and you know what he told that player? Man, get your ass off my field. You
Bro,
didn't
we talking
hold on,
hey,
national
no.
ball.
hey,
I'm
look,
talking
now
National
look,
ball.
national
hey,
ball.
look, hey, look, wait,
Go ahead, Pat.
okay.
Go ahead, Pat.
Now look, bro, check this
National
out. Hey,
ball,
look,
Pat.
now
National
look,
ball.
that's the only way I see it, man. Hold on,
Okay.
that's the only way I see it. Okay, so check it out, Amo. It is the parent responsibility to get your kid whatever necessary tools they need to help develop their skills. If you're taking your kid to a team and you ask somebody to coach your kid, that's a separate entity than asking somebody to train your kid. If you ask me, I tell my parents all the time, my parents can attest to this. 8U, 9U, 7U, we stress. Get your kid some outside work outside of practice. Why? We get 3 to 4 practices a week, 2 hours, sometimes maybe 2.5, sometimes 1.5. And on the weekend, you probably can get 3 or 4 hour practice in. Okay. It is our job because you still have to coach to win. Nobody's coaching to lose. It is your job to implement systems, routines, formations, defensive schemes, uh, terminology, plays, roles and responsibilities That's what we practice so that when we go play a game, it looks like perfection. Okay. There is a time that we get to allocate for training, which is the you have teams that come together early in the off season and they call it conditioning. You condition with your team. You're going through different drills. If you may be working with your running backs or your receivers, DBs, you may do drills that help their explosiveness. You may do drills for running backs to help their change of direction and exploding. So that's when you, as a coach, you have that little window, which may be a 2 month window, which may be a month and a half window, but that's the window you get to get your kids ready. Okay. Now, who gets it, they get it in those conditioning sessions. But the kids that don't and the kids that's behind, if I'm a parent and I see that, it's no way I'm telling the coach. It's on him when I haven't done my job and made sure I gave the coach a better athlete.
Right.
Because you can go, oh, coach, why my kid not playing? Okay, mom, he can't run. He not running proper routes. Okay, do you tell a coach, well, teach him how to run the proper routes? Because if everybody else doing it, we gotta be teaching. Maybe your kid is not getting it, so that's when you say, hey, I gotta go get him some outside training, just like in school. That's tutoring, bro. That's tutoring. Just like in school. My kid not doing good in math. My kid not doing good in reading. I'm trying to get a reading tutor. Or when he come home with that homework, I'm spending my time with my child, hands-on, one-on-one. Same shit in athletics, bro. If you see your kid is not doing something in practice, or your kid not doing something in the game and it's not transitioning with the practices they have as a team, you crazy. Why you think or why you think they sell a jug machine? To help you catch. Why do you think they got ladders and cones and goddamn hurdles and to train? So we can't say just because we take them to a coach, the coach got to do it. Hell no, it's our job to get the unit ready, and we got to install. You get what I'm saying? Like shit, we can't make our like just think about if we have to dummy down the team because I'm gonna use a kid named I don't give a fuck, Cobalt. If Cobalt got the goddamn coach, he not understanding the holes, he not catching the two, he not understanding he the three back, he not understanding he got to count it and get to the five hole. He's not understanding that. Okay, so now we got four of the running backs. We got fucking the whole offensive line, quarterback and receivers in practice stalling because one or two players can't get it. Mommy and daddy, hey, this is your investment.
So I got a question here. I got some questions. So so all of this development that these coaches be yelling that they doing and all this other stuff. You mean to tell me so basically y'all want already ready kids pretty much
No,
because y'all don't
no,
because
no,
coach don't
nobody's
have time
but
to teach
no,
the integral parts of it
uh-uh,
Y'all don't
because
want
no,
intricacy though.
no,
Y'all
no,
want
no.
the
That's not even.
minuteness of it.
Hey, but that's not. Thank you. They want the small detail. They
You
want
don't
the
want
look.
intricacies.
Listen, like I say, there is a time, just like in school, bro. There is a time when a teacher teach math and they teach it multiplication. This week we on multiplication all week. Okay, at the end of the week we're gonna give y'all a test.
okay, so I want to ask this. How does that help a kid advance? It only seems like what they understand is your new system. That's it. Only thing you're teaching them is how to
No,
run your system and your scheme.
no,
No,
no.
Yes,
He's
that's
not.
bro. If
He's
but
teaching
look
them
though,
the
if you
fundamentals of
listen,
how?
hold on.
a scheme. Go
Hey,
ahead,
wait,
Pat, because I
wait.
can't talk to this dude.
So if you say so look though. So if you say they're only learning my system, right?
Mhm.
Coach, we teach a universal system in all of football. So when you leave me, you're gonna know everything about the game. We're not running the let's call SpongeBob and we do this bullshit ass play. No. when I study, when the leaders of our organization, when they study these people that played at the highest level, that got NFL experience, high school experience, college experience, they've been coached, they've played. So our system isn't makeshift, somebody at home just writing and creating the Coach Pat theory. No, this is the Bible and all the football.
All right,
So
so I want to ask a question. So are kids more developed or undeveloped in today's time?
are they more developed? I think they more developed in today's time because there's trainers available, there's resources available to get your kid right. Um, like I said, there's a hell of a lot more of little gadgets you can go into sporting stores and pick up, bro, to help your kid develop. I spoke on the jug machine earlier. You got ladders, you got cones, you got goddamn different catching shit, you got resistant bands, you can go pick up weight sleds. I'm not saying those that wasn't available back in the day, but it wasn't as, like everybody wasn't going in the
Cost
stores.
efficient.
Yeah,
You
everybody
couldn't
wasn't going in the
afford it.
stores and
I
and,
think kids,
and
I
getting it.
think kids were I think they were more developed back then.
They were
I
nah,
think
bro.
I
They
think I
knew the
think now I
kids
think
knew the
now, like I
game.
say, there's more training going on. There's 7-on-7.
Mhm.
There's a lot of different camps.
They're more skilled.
There's a lot more things going on with the game of football than it was back in the day. Back in the day, it was maybe you played for your local park. If your dad was crazy as I am, you trained outside of practice. You played football in your neighborhood, and that's that. Now you got trainers with regiments with schedules, meal plans. You got different like I said, you got different groups. You got whole 50, 60 people going inside of a gym training with one trainer, two, three trainers. You get what I'm saying? Like that wasn't going on back then.
I
You
get
had
that,
you
right?
may have had a coach, that'll hold a practice and say we conditioning and
I,
run the
I
hell out you
okay.
back then.
I agree with you, right? But I also I guess playing 7-on-7 football in the streets and all that other stuff, whatever, probably made them young men better. But I definitely seen a lot of folks. We talking about the Sabins, we talking about Tom Brady's and all them asking the questions is why these kids are so underdeveloped at
And
this
you,
point.
you know what it is, bro? You know what it
With
is?
all of
I
this
seen
stuff,
Tell
Tom
me what
Brady
it is,
say that
because I
shit
know
too,
what you
bro.
about to say. I
I
know what you
seen
about to
Tom
say.
Brady
Go
say
ahead.
it too. I seen Tom Brady say it too, and I love that, bro. I listen. I love what Tom Brady say about the development because and I think, bro, just keeping it real, it's the parents, 1,000,000%.
Thank you.
It's the
Thank
parents.
you.
I'm gonna tell you,
Thank you.
it's the parents and they
For sure.
expectation and they
Hmm.
expectation. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't knock a parent for having high expectations. I just more so try to tell people that I live in the real world and I see things black and white, so I look at
For sure.
reality more so than the parent loving the potential or the fame that comes with the game. uh so I think, bro, you got parents, bro, who they want their kid to have it now. And if you grow up and you watching your parents show the fuck out on the coach or act the fuck out at practice or cuss the coach out or talking negative on your way home about what they think you should be doing, how they think you should be this, how they think you should be that, then the player creates that in his head. And then now it's a 50-50 thing because the player can either start being down upon himself and lose confidence, or the player can eat that up and feel like, oh, my coaches are against me now. I just think the parents having realistic expectations, you know, just like, man, I'm a coach, bro. I can't speak on other people's situation, but parents are very fucking bold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I can say, bro. They are very fucking bold and they see things their way. And shit, you just gotta be able to take that shit with a grain of salt and keep pushing.
I was on y'all side, right? I was telling them to stay away, to do this, to do that, to do this, whatever. And then when folks start saying, oh, it's 75% of the parents' responsibility for this is for 75% responsibility for them to get them a scholarship and this. And I'm like, well, shit, if y'all putting all of this responsibility on the parents, then they got every right to be on that damn sideline telling y'all what y'all not doing. Since y'all don't want to take the time out to do the intricacy parts, right? They got every right to disrupt. If it's up to them to get the scholarships and all that stuff, they got to make sure that they kid is straight. Since y'all putting all of the responsibility on them and y'all telling them, listen, man,
Yeah.
we can only do so much. We can only do like, bro, you can't have it both ways, is my point. You cannot have it both ways. So either you want to take the time to develop the you want to take the time to develop these kids and have the parents, do their part and work with them outside of that or whatever, or you want them to be a part and in basically give suggestions on what their kid is not doing. You're not gonna be able to have it both ways
So
because
look,
if,
so
if
look,
it's up
right?
to them,
No, look,
go ahead.
right? So look, you gotta understand you saying the development part, right? Okay. Now there's also a competitive part within that development, right? Because we coach and we are responsible for putting what we believe is the best on the field and they and we what we think players that are to the standard or a player that perform and exemplifies what we expect out of different people, different positions or whatever. So if we feel like we have a standard and you are developing but you're just not ready to start, you're just not ready to be the bell cow or the workhorse, or you're just not ready to take that starter out of there, and a parent still will go to fuck off on you for however they feel. But how I look at it, bro, in any situation, like these my kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my own sons, you know what I'm saying? These my kids, bruh. Regardless of wherever they go, it's not the coach supposed to teach him his plays. He supposed to teach him his scheme. He supposed to teach him that, right? And then like I said, we take advantage of the opportunity when it's time to condition and train and work out and do all this with the team. We take advantage of those opportunities, but there's a major piece that I have to do as a dad, bro, outside of what a coach do, bro. It's no way on God's evergreen earth I'm putting my child's future or my child's everything just only on a coach, bro. A coach can be a part of that, but I'm not only putting it on the coach, bro. It's on me because that's mine. That's not the coach child. We don't share the same interest in that player, bro. You
All
understand what I'm
right.
saying,
So
bro?
okay, yeah, I get it. But let's be honest, bro. We already know it's a lot of people out here, bro. They struggling. So we know they not gonna be able to get
Oh man, this lady want my attention so bad, bro. Leave
look,
me alone, man.
so we know, right? It's a lot of folks out here, they're struggling. Let's be honest, bro. Everybody is not gonna get a trainer. So that means that according to y'all, that if they can't afford to get a trainer and they kid ain't growing in the way that y'all feel like they should be growing, damn near leave them behind.
No, 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 no. Because what do we do as coaches? Shit, we doing right now. 7 on 7. That's part of that helps. That's a part of training as well, bro. That's optional. You don't have to do 7 on 7. You don't have to go play that shit. But you do it to help your kids get ready for the fall. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's a coach taking his time out to make sure his quarterback, his receivers, his running backs, his linebackers, his DBs, they know defensive pass coverage schemes. They know roles and responsibilities and coverages. They know their role and responsibility when playing man. They know different defensive terminologies. They know different offensive formations. That's the time a coach taking to develop and train, bro. You just got to take the opportunity as a parent.
I mean, listen, man. I
Look,
feel
look, I
you.
got people. Look, I got people. Look, and I'm gonna use my team, bro, because you know, like my parents, y'all, you listen, bro, I take everything that come with this shit. You feel what I'm saying? So if they gonna beat me up and kill me, they do it anyway. They give me a hard time regardless. I say my team, right?
Mhm.
I have people that say, Coach, we don't play 7-on-7. We ain't gonna play 7-on-7. We ain't gonna do no 7-on-7. Woo, right? We got this going on. We got that going on, right? Right?
Mhm.
Okay. Then when the fall come, right? And you know, don't nobody pass the ball more than us. You get what I'm saying? And
Right.
that motherfucker getting passed around and we having fun and the kids enjoying it and we getting first downs and touchdowns and whatever. The coach, let my boy get her. Coach, let my boy get her. Coach, let my boy get her. Coach, throw my boy in. Why y'all ain't let my boy? Why y'all ain't throw my boy? Y'all bullshitting. Damn, y'all gonna give him a chance. Damn, y'all gonna give him a shot. Damn, y'all ain't looking. How when we took our time out for free in 7-on-7 from fucking February or January all the way up until this point, and you ain't bring your ass out there because you was whatever the fuck you had going on in life. You ain't got to play in the games. You could have came and got the work in. You could have came and practice. You get what I'm saying? And you chose not to. So we at the end of the day, it's going you the parent. Make the investment and make the time for your fucking child. Give us a better athlete.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Everybody can't afford it.
Oh, and that's listen, bro. You could come out and like I just said, 7-on-7, bro.
No, I
We your
know, but
team, we your
everybody.
coaches. Like
Last time I checked, it costs.
bring your ass out there. You can't first and foremost, there's no way you saying you want to play on a travel team and you can't financially support that. Just like in baseball, basketball, when you play AAU, we're not telling the guy you're not a good shooter because your parent can't afford you to be a fucking trainer. No, you're doing what you got to do to participate in that AAU basketball circuit. You're doing what you got to do to play that travel baseball circuit. So in football, let's not play the money game on it. Let's not get the parents that crutch, bro.
Oh no, I'm gonna play the money game because a lot of times it only the best kids they still be struggling, brother. They just go because you might be willing to pay that damn registration. That's the only difference. That's the difference. So they like based on the situation, if they had to pay, they wouldn't go. So it's the same similar situation, bro. They are just being they're just being punished for not some of them, not all of them are being punished for not being able to afford certain situations. Not everybody can afford a trainer. Y'all keep saying all that stuff. You forget some of these folks forget I film free so these parents can afford or be able to see their child and don't have to worry about the money aspect. That's why I did that. That's why I ain't never charged because I understood a lot of these parents struggle. You guys keep putting stipulations on these kids that they may not be able to do.
We
It's
don't put stipulations. No, we don't put stipulations
y'all want
because
them to train.
no, no,
That's
no.
all.
Listen, we don't make nobody come play for us. First and foremost, that nigga get let's check that at the door, Ken. This travel rare breed motherfucking 10U, 9U, 8U is optional. We don't make you.
What's the
It's
option? You good or you not?
no, the option is if you cannot if you can't get with the program, there's other programs that you can probably fit better in, and it's no hard feelings. That's simple, bro. You can't listen. That's just like this, bro. Keep it G, Ken. All right. That's like if you got a couple of partners that them boy got a couple of dollars, woo, 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 and y'all and they like, boy, we finna they go out to the strip club a lot, and when they go, they throw money. Okay, all y'all, everybody got money, we throwing money, we blowing money, whatever, right? Okay, you may be like, shit, coach, that ain't in my league, but I ain't going there with y'all. I ain't doing that. That ain't in my league. I can't do that. My shit different. My bread different. So shit, when y'all go do that, I'm gonna fall back. I ain't even finna play like that. I'm gonna just take it easy. You feel what I'm saying? You got that option, bro. It's the same thing. If you know travel football is a certain way, bro, and it takes a certain sacrifice and it takes a certain dedication and commitment, bro. I ain't got a crutch for nobody, bro. I'm keeping it G, Ken. Like the expectation is the expectation. The standard is the standard, bro. Like, I'm not saying we don't have parents or kids that we scholarship sponsor, that we support, that we look out. I'm not saying we don't do that. Because as a coach, any coach in youth football, nigga, we come out of pocket a lot. We take money out of our homes and put into our teams a lot, bro. Not just us, any and every coach in all the fucking youth sports take money out their households and put it to their team. So I'm not saying that we don't care about the financial side. But if we can't afford, like I said, there's a window that we work on training and development and conditioning. Get in and get in that window, take advantage of the opportunity and give us a return on that investment. If you need extra work, you need extra training as a parent, put on your motherfucking big girl, big boy boots, pants, shoes, drawers, whatever the fuck it is, put it on, bruh, and do what you got to do by your child, bruh. Because at the end of the day, we have these childs momentarily through different phases of them learning and going through the game. You have that child forever. Who holds the greater responsibility? I'm a youth football coach. I'm helping your kid get ready to go to middle school. And if I coach him through middle school, I'll be helping him get ready to go to high school. After that, he's going to have a high school coach. And then the responsibility and the expectation change. He need to help you get ready to go to college. Then you're going to get a college coach. But you know who don't change in that situation, Ken? The fucking parent. The parent stay the parent, bruh.
I get you right
So
now. If
that's your job as the parent because that's your child, bro.
I know, but if y'all saying that and they
Hey,
doing all
please, man,
that,
this lady, listen. What they call her, Halima, bro? Leave me alone, bro. I ain't bothering you. Stop trying to bother me. Stop. Yeah, man, go on about your business,
so
bro.
so
You gotta go. You
basically,
should be looking for you and your child a whole nother situation. Man, spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. Stop looking back, bro. Like, nigga, I'm not gonna fucking keep responding to you. Leave me alone, lady. Like,
right, yeah,
god damn.
but nah, I'm just saying, bro. I think in this era, like the way that coaches back then, because
Hey,
I
her
fully
name, but
feel
nobody
like
give
they've
a
been
fuck.
more
Like, shut the
developed
fuck up.
back then. I feel like they've been more developed back then than they are now. You even had Clayton come on here that said that it's
Shit don't hurt. Nobody ain't
20%.
got time to keep talking to no going
Hey man,
back and
y'all
forth with no
just ignore
woman.
it, man. Just ignore it.
Like
Or
nobody
like,
ain't nobody finna keep going back and forth with no woman. Like, go ahead, lady.
I mean, she good. She come support, man.
She can support all she want, bro. But I'm not finna keep going back and forth with no lady. Go on about your business, man. If you got a problem, you feel like you got a problem, tell DJ to holler at me, bro. If I could talk to the baby daddy, I could talk to the man in the situation. I ain't finna keep going back and forth with no woman, man. Go ahead. That shit elementary, bro.
Man, hey, but nah, back to this subject, man. Like, I think in today's time, the method is, it used to be okay. All right, you put out your little, your memo that you're practicing. Whoever come, you play. You coach them up and all that. It seems like they went from that to bypassing that to just saying, "Yep, you good. Yep, you come with me. Yep, you good. You good. You good. All right, bam, you good. You good."
But
And
it
then the
ain't that
one,
either, Ken.
huh?
Because look, think about this, right? Even though you may get good players, you still have to teach them your system, bro. You still
Yeah.
got to teach them your system. And once you teach them your system, they're still competing with other players for that playing time, bro. It's not just because you good. Just because you good don't mean you finna fucking play. No, nigga, you gotta come over here and remember the plays. You got to goddamn compete with the guy that's in front of you. So shit, it ain't just because you good, bro. That's why I say we still have a responsibility as a coach. If we speak in rec ball, some of these things are factual. But if we speak in travel national ball, bro, we got a job to do, bro.
So basically, and this, and I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna just say this. If you not past certain part of development, don't go for nationals. you only, if you looking for a development in constant growth or whatever, you go with you go with rec ball. Cause
That's the
that
purpose of the rec. That's the
here's the
recreational.
thing.
That's the purpose of it.
Cause here's the thing. You can't tell me that at rec that these folks are able to develop some of the best kids and then tell me when it comes to national, we ain't got time for that. What are you really doing besides putting in your schemes? You're not doing nothing.
Well, at the rec, coach, the competition isn't the same, so your games are not the same. You have different situations. Like my oldest son played rec before I put him on national. We played in the GFL. He played rec for probably 2 or 3 years, and then we went national until he got to middle school, eighth grade, seventh, eighth grade. But I would just say the game's different, bro. Like
It definitely
the
is.
pra- the practice different. The practice different. Tell the wait. The practice different. I do it in a minute. The practices are different. The games are different. There's not that the expectation is different for the coach. At the rec, you got minimum play rules. You got to get this kid this many plays as part of the league, the park, the organization rules. You got parents that they don't really care about winning. They care about their kid being on the field and, as they call it, reps over rings. Or that's the new
For sure.
slogan.
It's
That they
definitely
that's what they call it. You got some parents who that's their attitude, that's their mentality. But once again, that's the reason that there's two different, like, or it's really a couple of different avenues you can take with your child. You know what I'm saying? I told somebody this a minute ago. We all trying to get to the same place, taking different routes, bro. So whatever you see fit, the route your kid need to take it. But you can't take my route and tell me how to dictate what I do and how what I do. I will never. It ain't gonna go down like that with no parent.
But I
So
will ask you this too, Coach. How could you get upset? Not you in protect. How could you get upset as a coach if you now say, you know what, it's up to you. It's 75% up to you to make sure that your kid make it. How then you get upset and say that, oh well, you disrupting and you're doing this, you're doing that, when they doing exactly what you're asking, which is make sure that they kid is put
because
in a position that they win.
Okay, because the same way we respect the officials, you respect the coaches and what we do as we all volunteer. Really, the official get paid per game. We don't. Um, so first and foremost, we coaching for free. There's no stipend included with coaching little league football. At least I know our organization not set up like that. And I just told you coaches come out of pocket a little bit more than what people think when just to keep a team going. Um, when we say when you say disrupting, coach, ain't no parent gonna disrupt us practicing or us at a game, and that ain't. I don't give a fuck what you got to say. I don't give a fuck what point you got to make. There's a proper place and time for you to communicate whatever issue you have with whatever going on as a parent, bro. Anything belligerent, get shut the fuck down and close the fuck out. Like, you're not gonna act belligerent, be belligerent, go crazy, and think a coach is gonna hear you, bro. But if
But
you
it's up to
if you
them to
come to
make
a coach, but if you come to a coach like you got some sense, bro, and you actually communicating like an adult, bro, I don't like anybody that respect you as a parent or respect what your kid bring to a team. I don't see them being argumentative and verbally combative. But if you
Mhm.
come like that with that energy, I'm a coach, bro. I'm telling you, 99% of the time, that's what you're gonna get back.
Mm. Yeah, but I see it happening more often. Being that they feel like, okay, it's my duty. I'm just doing what is asked of me, and to make sure that my kid look as good as possible so they can make it to the next level. So I see that in the future causing more disruption, since we are now in a phase that coaches want to do less. Be in the name of we're volunteering. And
It's
I
not
like,
that coaches want to do less, bro. I don't like the way you saying that. I don't like your vernacular with that, my
hey
man.
man, listen,
Hey,
man,
your
you just
vernacular throwing me all
it,
the way
it
off
may
with
not
that,
fit
man,
you,
boy.
coach. It may
Because
not fit you, but it's
yeah,
definitely
because
fitting.
I know. bro, you know, people leave their families and volunteer their time to coach teams all across the youth football, basketball, baseball.
For
Like
sure.
for
I'm
y'all
an
to say
athlete.
a coach doing less because we're saying that a parent should own up or do more when it comes to training, just because we put a little more responsibility on a parent, we saying a coach want to do less. Hey man, I don't give a fuck what they call it. Give it, like, call it, like, blame it on trying to maximize our opportunities with our practices that we have. Just think about how more effective we can be had more people been more ready to go, had more people been more knowledgeable about what's going on, how much smoother and how much better a practice can run. You understand what I'm saying, bro? So at the end of the day, bro, blame it on that. I don't give a damn. We don't get all day to practice throughout the week. These kids got to go to school. They got to travel back and forth at home. It's a lot of shit that got to go down. So at the end of the day, we don't, like, shit. Blame it on, like I say, blame it on trying to get us ready to do what we got to go do, man.
So basically, what I'm getting is that you're saying that since you guys have less reps, less time to practice, that's pretty much why you recommend that they go to they get a trainer outside of what it is that y'all do, because you got to teach the schemes and all that stuff.
100%. I mean, we're trying to maximize
With
the
me with that.
practice. We're trying to maximize our windows, bro. Like I said, there's different. We can't say in we, let's say in June, July, May, we talking about training and development. Once August, September, October, December, there's a certain development that happens. It's not the beginning.
Oh no, you breaking up. You breaking up. You breaking up, Cole.
I said that just about the time it take in the beginning that we use for training. You get what I'm saying? We use certain time for training, and and
I don't know what happened, but let me go ahead and read some of the. But I know I'm gonna be honest though. Like it may not be, it may not be Coach Pat in particular, but a lot of these folks, they want less responsibility. It may not be him, but they want the less amount of responsibility because they just don't want to do the work. Everybody just want the top players now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to just try to go get such and such, and and this person is somewhat developed because maybe they did have the parent that was able to teach them the game or whatever, right? In some cases you do have that, but then we also got to factor in that there are some parents who can't afford it, and that need their kid to be in activities and want their kid to get better, but then they ain't gonna never get better because we don't have enough coaches that want to take out the time to teach them, because they want to focus on a person that's already damn near developed because of that person, because they had the parent that actually taught them. My thing is this, man. Start looking at things full circle. Stop looking at the players that's already, at that point of being a dog. We forget the people that I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this. I'm at a great space now. But if it was for them people, right? And I'm gonna use this for me. If I was one of them people, the way that these coaches think now, right? In school, well, as far as me when I was in school, when I had the late reading start, I didn't know much of anything. If I had teachers that thought just like some of these coaches, I would be in a crappy place. But it's that it's some of them teachers that wanted to take the additional time to help me with things. And none of these folks, in the name of volunteering, got the time that they want to take to help these other kids. Everybody got a little bit of dog in them. It's just gonna take them a little bit longer to get it. But folks want kids that's already ready. He says, serious question. How much time do you think coaches have with their team? Already know it's like 2 hours, but guess what? Guess what? The thing about it is, even though I know it's only 2 hours, right? They still not maximizing the potential, the opportunity for these kids. You mean to tell me out of all the coaches that some of these folks have on one team that they can't take a group of kids that are pretty much underdeveloped, right? That's not as good as the rest of the kids. Set them aside. Work with them a little more. Work with them on what they expect, on expectations and all that stuff. You can't do that. See, the thing about life, what I realize, when a person don't want to do something, they give you excuses. When a person see potential in you, they give you opportunities. Don't let that go over your head. And the fact that I'm seeing a lot of these folks responses, you guys are the one that just give excuses, bro. You make time for what's important to you, and developing is not. Let's just keep it honest. I'm not gonna let y'all. I'm not talking about Coach Pat. Shout out to him. He's doing what he's supposed to. But I'm not gonna let nobody sit there and make me neglect the kids. I understand what's going on. You saying 2 hours? You saying 2 hours? I just gave a person that wants to create have a solution, a solution, pretty much. How, Ken? We only got these people. We only got over 2 hours. Well, how many coaches do you have? Okay. Do you got your coach, your defensive coach, your defensive coordinator, your OC, your head coach? Okay, so they can't make sure that them folks is good. You got your O-line coach. Cool. Don't you got about 3 more coaches after that? Can't some of them coaches take these very kids to the side and practice with them what they need them to work on? This is youth football. This is not high school. Now, if this was high school, I would be singing a different tune. This is not high school. This is youth football. Everybody got to start somewhere. And right now, it's almost, to me, like that situation when you get out of college and they say, yeah, man, I'll hire you, but you just ain't got the hours. How the hell I'm going to get the hours if nobody will hire me? So my thing is, when I talk about development, I think on one of my next morning shows, we gonna go over a list, and then we gonna talk about what is development. Because here is the problem. Folks say I can't talk about development, and we only got enough time for development. But then guess what? When they talk about getting somebody over to their establishment, their organization, their team, what is the first thing they preach? The first thing they preach is, man, we'll make sure he develop. That's why I give all of these 6U, 5U, 6U, 7U coaches all of the credit, because you ain't got no choice but to develop. None of these kids come in too much knowing. Not all of them have parents that can take them to go train and all this. The coaches take the time out. So, folks, he said, I think there's a lot more coaches developing than not. Well, when you got college, NFL telling you these folks is undeveloped. I mean, you got worse coaches now because all the good coaches is gone. I don't see how that's the case. So my thing is this. I don't mean to accuse the coaches that are doing what I'm saying, right, of anything. All I want to do is keep things at the focal point, right? Which is developing, enjoyment, right? Having fun, being developed, and creating memories. I want to make sure that that's the center of youth football because everything has went from first developing, enjoying the game and all that stuff. Everything went from that to just winning games. Just winning games. That's the most important thing for coaches. You're volunteering. Why does winning so much matters? I thought it was just teaching the damn kids. I understand that's the name of the game, but why is it so important? It stopped being about the kids and it's about these coaches. And that's the thing I ain't gonna never let nobody forget. Thank you, Jake. Say your answer is right there. That's no longer the center of youth football. And that's what I've been trying to get to this whole time. You folks, a lot of y'all been making it about y'all. So we as coaches, we can brag about how many whatever we got. But what about, did you really win? What about the kids? We know what some coaches can do when they got the best of everything. How about taking some of that same passion and going to coach the lesser, the ones that's not even familiar with football, that they mom is just putting them in the damn game. They're not familiar yet, but they'll get to they showing you that it's something that they want to do. This is the type of stuff I do like bragging on, but I taught a kid that didn't know. He didn't know what a subtraction sign was. He didn't know what a plus sign was. He didn't know what a subtraction, plus sign, multiplication, or division sign was. What it's been? Almost 6 months. I got him learning all that. When you take the time out, it will reward you. And a lot of folks don't want to take the time. So, it is what it is. He said, "Are you speaking about Georgia?" I'm confused. No, I'm not. I'm speaking in general, bro. I'm just like you. A lot of the coaches' mindset, these folks is telling parent that they need to be getting their kids scholarships now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making sure that all of this bragging about what I did as a coach, I'm making sure it still ain't about you, bro. It's about them kids. What them kids do? What about the other kids that's left? See, in this process, everybody talked about what? Man, go get a trainer. But guess what everybody forgot? Everybody can't afford one. A lot of folks forgot why I started doing this, so I can help out those parents. Because I understood that they can't afford it. See, we forget and we trample over the people that can't do right now and we forget about the folks that can't afford certain things. And we brush and gloss over them folks because they don't matter. They can't do nothing for me. See, and that's what I want to get to. When a person can't do something for you, look how you will get treated. Hey, yeah. Go to a trainer. I don't know, bro. Like I say, man, I'm gonna keep the focus to where it's supposed to be at, which is the kids, the development. And when I say development, I'm talking about a kid that gets better every day, a kid that learns something every day, a kid that becomes more confident every day, a kid that can learn how to play the game, a kid that can be told what to do outside of the field as well. That's what I'm looking at. It ain't no big me, little U's when it come to me. And that's what it is for a lot of folks. Folks think they above people. It ain't a person that I know that can hold enough money over me. Nothing. Ain't nobody above me. Ain't nobody above these babies. Ain't nobody above somebody that don't have nothing. Everybody is somebody, man. And folks, they pay attention to what important to them. And I'm showing a lot of folks that what's important to these folks is not the ones that's at the bottom, not the kids that can't produce or perform right now. It's always the ones who can do for them. So, you know what I'm saying? He says, can we put some high school coaches on the show? He says, so some of these parents can hear directly, high school coaches on this stuff. I would love to. I would love to, get some high school. I mean, Fanatic is high school as well. But my thing is this, man. Youth football is supposed to be bigger than football itself. It's supposed to be getting these kids mentally prepared, mentally tough, right? And prepare for their adulthood. That's why a lot of these kids keep growing up doing the same thing, thinking the same thing, and all of this because we're not taking the time out. So, we gotta make sure that data center. And I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm gonna keep getting on some of the parents. I'm gonna keep getting on the coaches, and that's just what it is. But I respect and got love for everybody. But I'm never gonna allow. Hold on, what you say, coach? Oh, he says, damn, Ken, you own to something. That being said, when are you getting back to interviewing the kids and doing a where they are now segment? I thought this channel was about the kids. It is about the kids. And that's why I decided to work with Coach Darius. Coach Darius is going to be helping the kid prepare how to speak publicly. And so once he work with them, they're gonna come on this show, and then he's gonna assess them once we doing the interview. But it's definitely about the kids. But sometimes the correction got to be amongst the adults because they are the ones that at the end of the day got the final say. So yeah, man, we definitely getting back to the interviewing the kids, man. But that's all I got, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. He said, I got 2 words for you, Ken. When I see you, check ball. Hey, for sure, man. Hey, I appreciate every last one of y'all for tuning in. Hopefully, there are some things that I've learned. I'm not gonna lie to y'all that I do agree with Coach Pat. There are some things that a lot of things that I do disagree with. But at the end of the day, the conversations need to be had. Communication is necessary. Whether you want to have it or not, it can solve many problems. He says Ken's was good. He says, Ken, what's a good ratio for developmental versus skills on national team? I don't know the ratio. I don't know the ratio. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's something I might have to sit down and really think about. Uh, but nah, that's something that's very key. You know, usually you kind of go off of on the developmental side, right? Is really teaching them what the what things are and stuff like that, and you doing drills and all that stuff. And I think the skill come later. I think that comes, that comes later. So I don't know. It depends. Everybody is different. And that's the one thing that we need to understand, that people, they get better at different times. Some people peak right away as soon as they start, and some folks, they compete later on as they continue to get developed and learn, the skill and everything about certain positions. So it depends. It varies. Nobody is alike. And that's where I think the problem is. We think everybody learns at the same time. Some people take longer than others. So, it is what it is. But hey, look, I gotta go, man. Gotta go. Gotta get my kid. I'm out.
For tuning in, sports family. Also, go to all social media platforms. Link will be in the description. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Thank you.